THON's a student-run philanthropy. It's the largest in the world, committed to impacting children who are diagnosed with cancer's lives by raising money and raising awareness for them throughout the year. I dance for my Poppy. He actually had 2 different types of cancer, 3 different times.
There's nothing like a cellophane heart.
A what? Oh, I know, there's
Nice.
right?
I'm not gonna know the time just because I feel like knowing the time's gonna like mess me up a little bit. I'm gonna get a little nervous, and especially if like later in the week I'm not doing so hot, like I don't want to know the time, because if I know I have like 10 hours more, then I'm gonna be like freaking out if I'm not doing so hot. So yeah. So my DRCMs are gonna change the time on my phone, which will change the time on my Apple Watch. So they'll set it to like China or like Australia, or like, well, I've been to China, Australia, so they shouldn't do that. But anywhere besides there, like they could send it to like, I don't know, Brazil or something like that, like somewhere else that like I wouldn't know the time to. And then it would just transfer over to my watch. So yeah.
Yeah. I have to be good until tomorrow. Really what?
This is so needed. I'm already sore and I haven't even started THON. The night before THON, so I went to bed and I rolled around in bed till like 4:30 in the morning, knowing fully that I had to be up at 10 a.m. To finish packing and finish getting ready to be at the BGC by 3. So I could not sleep that night at all. So I woke up in the morning, probably one of the more exhausted mornings I've had, fully knowing that there was no going back now. I had nothing else I could do. My anxiety was through the roof because I was sitting in a chair closing my eyes already. I was exhausted. I mean, this was like, but like I know I can go to bed tonight. Like knowing that I was like this kind of tired, like a little bit exhausted, and then knowing that I could not sleep at all, let alone like sit down for X amount of hours, that just gave me so much anxiety. So I remember like coming into the sports complex and just being like, how am I going to do this? I genuinely don't know what I'm going to, I don't know how to do this. Like, obviously I was thrilled with excitement, but in my head, like a million different things are spinning around in my head.
We're going in! She's going in!
All right, Audrey, come on.
Then I went out into the floor and I just remember I put my headphones in, I laid down on the floor, I just closed my eyes. For like 10 minutes, I was like, I'm exhausted.
And you slept.
And I slept right then and there before we stood. I was like, I just need to mentally get in the zone and mentally close, like I need to close my eyes. Like I need to just do this,
Step
like
prepared.
just like this for a couple minutes. And so I was like, I put my headphones down, I was like, no one say anything to me. If you need me, just tap me. I laid down. I will say later on that little mini nap definitely saved me because I get really bad headaches. And walking in that BJC, immediately, when being exhausted, it hit me with a huge headache.
4, 3, 2, 1.
The first couple of hours, I was just living my best life. I was so happy, so excited. I will say though, hour 3, it was 9 p.m. I crashed for the first time, 3 hours in. And that had nothing to do with the fact that it was only 3 hours in. It had everything to do with I didn't sleep the night before. And I had been running my butt around all day. So it was about time for me to, on a normal day, go to bed. So I crashed. Just from that point on, everything started to become a blur. So I couldn't really tell you what happened from that point till probably the next morning.
Just brushed your teeth. It's hour. We don't know. Carol knows.
We don't know.
We're really delirious. Ready? Take it. We'll cover our ears. Wait, I think it's hour 8. We're completely delirious. Carol just said the time. That's all.
I just like looked in the mirror and I was like, I don't know if I can do this. And I actually had a breakdown. I cried a lot to my best guy friend. He was like, "You're fine. You got this." Like, he was dancing too, and he actually piggybacked me through it. And I just remember that was like one of the most like meaningful times for me, because at the time when I thought I couldn't do it, like, he had every faith in me. I was kind of counting hours from then on. I swore on my life that it was 9 p.m. or 10 p.m. when I saw a family meal going on in the back, and it was about to be pep rally. So I had this, I got this. It's 11 p.m., 10 p.m., 9 p.m. I can do this. And then I was talking to my friend, and she accidentally showed me her phone. And I knew it was the right time because she's a DRCM, so they always have the right time. This was like the hardest moment of my entire weekend. So I knew the only place I could get away was the dressing room. So I went to the dressing room and I just bawled my eyes out and cried. I like hid in a corner, like behind the like curtains where people couldn't see me, and like I leaned against my locker and I just cried and cried and cried and cried. I just wasn't a person. I couldn't comprehend what was going on, where I was.
I haven't been present though.
Present or present?
Present as much as I'd want to be.
That's okay. You've been present enough for them. You know?
It's
You
like
might not remember it, but these are memories that they're going to have.
I'm journaling and talking to my best friend Nick. This is Nick, my best friend. And him and my other best friends made me this journal. And look, so it's all the different hours. So it's like hour 2, hour 3. I think I'm on hour 26. So I'm gonna go to 26. That's you. That's you.
So that book really is, I can genuinely say, one of the reasons I got through THON. Especially my hardest times. I looked to that book to kind of get me through and like find different things to do, because there's not always a lot to do when you're dancing for 46 hours. Like, things start to get old and you can't do the same things a million different times. So that book was just so meaningful to me and so special. By far, it was the very end of THON, when THON ended, and we sat down finally. Everyone cleared out the BJC, and as you know, I dedicated like my last 4 years to this amazing cause. So I had to take it in. I had to sit back. Even though I was in my full dreamland, I still didn't know where I was. Someone probably should have been escorting me out to make sure I actually got home. But I looked around me and I just took it all in, and I was like, thank you. Like, thank you, THON, for all you gave me these past 4 years.
We